All right, traders, to watch this video for Christmas Eve. So I'm making this on Christmas Eve. I think the market's half day tomorrow. I'll probably just log in for the first hour, see if I can catch a morning gapper. But it's Christmas Eve, right? I don't expect a lot of volume. The market's closed on Tuesday, and then we'll be back at it full time on Wednesday. I want to slide this over real quick because I'm proud of it. This is the SPY, basically all of 2018. I couldn't quite get it to start right at the beginning of the year, but that's the overall market, and this is every trade I've taken up until right now in 2018. These aren't days, these are trades. I've certainly had a couple hiccups this year, but the overall trend of my trading is basically sitting right at highs for the year, and I'm proud of that because I'm not sure how many people are going out at the end of the year sitting at highs for the year with the turmoil we've had. And by the way, that is without shorting. I only trade on the long side, so the proof here to me is that you don't have to, you don't always have to be short if the market's selling. You can just be selective. There's always something to trade, in my opinion, on the long side. All right, you may have noticed looking at the SPY here, I'm showing you the big sell-off, but if you're astute, you've already noticed that this isn't where the SPY is right now. I believe this was like August 2011. But the reason I'm showing you this is because I just wanted to show you that there are always times where it feels like there's no bottom and it's the end of the world, right? I mean, look at this. If the market just went out like this on Friday, nobody'd be feeling really good, right? Falling from 132 to 112. That's a big percentage drop in about a week, right? And then we can scroll over and see what happened. It had a nice bounce, then it kind of found a range, comes down, takes out the bottom of that range, and then again, people are thinking, okay, now end of the world, and the market just kept climbing. So I'm not, and let me scroll forward now to modern day. This is what it actually looks like, but I'm not suggesting that we're going to be heading to new highs anytime soon, but these periods of big sell-offs like here, right, and then this one, you get a bounce in it, but after these, and they happen pretty quickly, right? The massive spike in volume, the massive sell-off, massive spike in volume, massive sell-off, they happen pretty quickly. And usually what happens is they get so fast and furious that when mom and pop and everybody starts thinking about shorting, what happens? Market bounces, right? Or the market finds a new range. So for me, I don't fret this, right? This isn't, I mean, I've been trading through all the chaos, 2008, 2009, since basically the turn of the millennia, right? And you're always going to have these sell-offs and people start talking about the end of the world. I mean, heck, if I was an investor, this would be a really interesting time. I'm in cash every night, but unemployment as low as it is, you might be looking at some investment opportunities. That is not me suggesting that because I do not hold overnight, but you're getting some divergence between I think the state of our economy and the stock market, which probably historically is a good time to start nibbling, right? Anyway, so again, don't lose faith or go all in short. These don't last very long. All right. Everyone, you always get, well, this time it's different because of this, and this. Maybe this time it is different. I don't know, but I'll just log in each day, waiting for A+ setups and making sure that if I'm taking a long trade, I'm not doing so while the whole market is ripping to new lows, right? So it's kind of just being patient on my entry and then attacking when I see a setup. So here's what I'm watching on Christmas Eve, Monday. Again, remember it's a half day. Big volume at MICT. I actually traded this one on Friday morning. Made a little bit of money in it. It ended up selling off later, and then I see, Friday was my wife's birthday, so I only traded the morning. But really nice volume and closing above its open. Definitely want to watch this one again. OBLN had a gap up. Usually these things, if they don't rip, a lot of times you'll see them fill the gap, and I would argue in a week tape, this one held up pretty well too. So I want to watch OBLN on Monday. ADIL, the interesting thing about this has been a super strong stock lately, right? The interesting thing about this, looks like it was strong all day on Friday, and let's go look at intraday on Friday. That move happened in the last 5 minutes. So, I'm a little skeptical of it, but still, volume came in and you had a late day rip, and it's holding up really well. So we'll watch that one. MRIN, this thing's, you know, crazy extended from the moving averages, but absolutely want to watch this one again. It's been a great trader in our room. As a matter of fact, if you go to our the page where you sign up for our chat room, there's a video of one of our members actually taped our Q&A. I don't know, maybe they taped the Q&A that we have every day during lunch, right, where I ask or people ask questions and I answer, especially something I might have called in the morning. It's kind of an after the fact, here's why I called it, and I kind of give details of the setup for those that haven't taken our course but are in the chat room and don't really understand what the call was. So we do have that daily Q&A, and I guess one of our members, or maybe many of our members, tape it. And while taping it, they actually caught Wayne. I'm going over a trade, and then Wayne typed in the room MRIN curling, which got my attention, which made me throw MRIN back on the chart in real time, and then Wayne made a call on it right there in real time. And it's a pretty cool video. You get a kind of a little window into our chat room, into things we look for, and how we stock stuff that should get you green immediately if it triggers based on what we teach in our course. So check that out. Again, it's on our, act like you're going to sign up for the chat room. On that page, there is a video of a live capture. I thought it was pretty cool that one of our members recorded the Q&A. I didn't even know that, and then sent it to Wayne, so y'all can see it. NVCN. So anyway, MRIN I want to have on watch, even though it's extended, because it's been such a great trader. Got to have it on watch. I'm not in love with this one, obviously. This is NVCN, but in a week tape, you had a nice pop, and let's go to 15-minute candles. Looks like most of that happened. I don't know if it was late day news, but most of it happened late day. So that's enough to put it on my radar. I doubt that I'll trade it. I really don't like stocks under $1, but AETI, also kind of a recent high flyer. Let's look at intraday, and you see there, that whole pop was at the end of the day, so I don't know what to expect, but it lands on watch because it's been a recent mover and had that huge pop end of day. So we'll see if something's up there. We'll keep an eye on it. WBA, potential bounce play. This was on bounce watch going into Friday, and just another ugly day. Now we've lost the 200-day moving average. You scroll to the left here, and there's certainly a lot of trading that transpired in August and late July in this area. So any big sell-off into support can yield a nice bounce. Same thing with Apple. As a matter of fact, if I was trading, look at this bounce off 150 back here. If I was trading and I saw Apple, I already had it on bounce watch, and I saw Apple getting intraday shape to take out 150, I would have been looking for a trade. I wasn't around in the afternoon. Again, my wife's birthday. But look at this. Late day shape to flush out 150, and you got, I don't know, $1.50 bounce. I would have traded that under 150 based on the daily chart, on obviously the company, the shape on the daily and on the intraday to flush that whole number 150, especially 150. Whole numbers are powerful inflection points anyway. I don't mean to confuse anyone who's watched our inflection point webinar, because this wouldn't have been an inflection point trade, but whole numbers can be a big deal to trade around, even if it's not an inflection point. And then when you get a stock like Apple getting shape into not just a whole number, but a whole number divisible by 50 or divisible by 100, for whatever reason, human nature or whatever, those tend to be pretty powerful places to trade around, right? So Apple taking out 150, to me, on an intraday basis, would have been a nice trade. Having said all that, that has nothing to do with why it's on my list today. Well, it does a little bit. Apple's fallen a long way to take out this 150 low, and I think it had, if you scroll back farther, bounced off 150 back here too. So, 150 is kind of an interesting area, and it got there pretty quickly. So Apple goes on bounce watch, and you see bigger volume than it's had probably all year on Friday. So this one might be worth watching for a bounce play too. All right, and that's on Monday. CORT, I almost hate this because you had this huge pop, and then it completely round tripped and then some, right? So now it's below where the pop started from. So I'm certainly not bullish on this, but it's so beaten up now that if I'm short anywhere from up here, I don't know how much more I'm expecting, right? So at some point down here, you're near chart support, and you've completely retraced this whole move. At some point, shorts are going to cover, and you could get a nice bounce. Having said that, this is not a normal bounce play for me. For a bounce play, I either like something really decimated like Apple into chart support, or something really strong and then a partial pullback. Like this one, huge move and then a few days lower, maybe on bounce watch, right? You're looking for the next move higher. You don't have that here. You've got a complete retracement of the move and then some. So the reason I point this out is I'm not that excited about this one, but at the same time, you can't help but think, okay, shorts have had their way. I think we could get, for lack of a better term, maybe a dead cat bounce or something here, but probably my least favorite chart on the list. JD had big volume on Friday, bounced off of support, maybe a double bottom forming, closed well off of its highs, but that volume tells me something might be up, and it also might be just related to quad witching, something I just realized as I'm making this video. So the volume might mean a lot less. Anyway, we'll see. It did have a decent day on Friday. And then lastly, CDXC, nice volume spike and closed pretty strong. Wayne made a call in this one in the chat room before I took off for the day, over 315. Big seller there. It was also red to green with high of day just above as another catalyst, and got a nice move from 315 to 339. Very tradable pop there. And I think several members, including Wayne, made some money on that in chat, and ended up closing pretty strong after flushing back down. Certainly one to watch on Monday. All right, I'm done babbling. Listen, a lot of you probably won't be trading tomorrow. There won't be a video tomorrow night. So for most of you, you probably won't hear from me until the day after Christmas. So Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope you're having a good year. Hope you're having a good trading year. And we'll be back at it full time on Wednesday, but I will be there. And for those of you that are going to be there, I will see you in chat on Monday morning.